everybody, it's Uncle Scott. Welcome back to the QwerkyReax channel. First things first, I chapter all my videos. So if you don't want to hear my spiel at the beginning, just feel free to use that scroll bar and slide right into the music. Second thing second, my video is not a replacement for the artist's original work. I always leave a link to both their channel and to an actual link to what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, as the top information in my description. So please feel free to check out their work, check out their videos. Of course, hopefully after you watch mine in its entirety. Thank you very much for that. Getting into today, so man, you guys have obliterated my week of planning, and I'm grateful for it because, as I said in yesterday's video, you know, I have the buy me a coffee link, and the super thanks are available on my YouTube stuff. And I always, when you guys leave comments, I always, of things that I should watch, I put them on a list and I try to get to them as soon as I can, and I spread things out. But if someone is gonna, like, you know, buy me a coffee or send me a super thanks to say, hey, you should check this out, I'm gonna try to prioritize that, obviously, because I really appreciate you supporting me in the channel, especially since I'm unemployed and not for nothing found out that I have to spend $1,300 to fix my car. So it's been a banger morning, guys. Banger morning. Anyway, so I really appreciate the support, and you guys have really come through in ways I didn't expect. So I really appreciate that too. It means a lot to me that you like support the channel and want me to keep doing this. So last night, I got this message on Buy Me a Coffee. Bad Llama bought me 5 breaks, 5 coffees. Bad Llama, thank you so much. That's like, I think that's like $25. So I can definitely use that. Bad Llama said, let's start you on the path to enlightenment, Poe. I don't know what that means, but I think that's like a nickname that they use for like BAND-MAID people. I may be missing like an obvious thing there. I'm sorry if I am, but okay. I'll roll the first one. Yes, there will be snippets of songs you have not heard. That is fine. Just enjoy. So then you can see there's a link there. That link is this, which says BAND-MAID documentary Saiki. I don't speak Japanese. That seems like a Japanese name. I don't know how to say that. But this is like a 30-minute documentary on BAND-MAID, and I'm guessing it's on one specific person. It's on, like, I'm just noticing now too, is like one of them eating a banana, the other one's eating fruit. They're all kind of doing it. One's running, one's skipping, one's just standing there kind of looking like she's pouting while she's walking. I don't know. So this is apparently, I think, going to give me, it's kind of like a profile on one of the artists. That's what I think it is. I'm not positive. Just so you guys know, though, because it's a documentary about, and it's like a full 30-minute thing, I'm going to cut this up because I do want you to go support them, support their channel. And I'm not going to want to like just completely show this 30-minute thing because that wouldn't be fair to them. So whereas in a reaction for a song, you end up hearing the whole song. I just keep interrupting it. So I'm just letting you know that the chances are really high. I haven't seen any of this yet, so I don't know. But the probability of me cutting this up drastically is about 98%, just because my gut says I'm probably going to need to. So just letting you know that, and hopefully I'll have some highlights for you. But now I'm really intrigued, guys. You're telling me that I need to watch this, so let's get into it. This is the BAND-MAID documentary, I think, on Saiki. I think it's like on one of the women. I could be wrong. Maybe it's on like a portion of their career. I don't know. Let's just jump in. I'll stop babbling. I'm excited to do this. I love that you guys are this invested in this group because I have become equally so. So let's do it.
Welcome to Kofu, the capital city of Yamanashi Prefecture, where Saiki was born on February 8th.
I was right.
Known for its proximity to
Saiki.
Mount Fuji and its grapes and wines,
Saiki.
Yamanashi is mostly covered by forests. This is the beautiful landscape where Saiki spent her childhood. Saiki had a very funny and lively childhood.
I think this right here is the first actual picture of her that they've used. If all the other ones look like stock photography, that just worked well with what they were saying. I'm also wondering if this is an AI voice, because it doesn't sound like a natural voice. Yeah. See, this is so this isn't coming from their actual page narrated by Casper Michaels. Really? Sounds very AI to me, but okay. You'll learn about Saiki's journey from shy young girl to confident front woman and lead singer of BAND-MAID. Yeah, so this looks to me like this is a fan-made documentary. Not mad at it, just saying it's not coming from their channel, which I wasn't sure about until just now. But that gives me some insight. So, and also helps me understand why they were using stock photography. Sorry. The filmmaker in me needs to know these things, guys. It's just the way I am. I've made 2 documentaries of my own and edited or consulted on 3 others. So I'm very into documentaries. If you ever want to know which ones I think are the best, feel free to ask me in the comments. I will definitely tell you. But anyway, let's get back into this.
She spent a lot of time singing at the karaoke, as her mother kept asking her to sing various types of songs. At first, Saiki sang because she was asked to. Saiki became a huge fan of Namie Amuro and decided to take dancing lessons when she was around 8 or 9 to become just like her idol.
That's really funny that right now they're like, she decided to take dancing lessons and they're showing her doing like really like not a real dance. She's just kind of moving her arms around and stuff like that. That's perfect video for that. That's really funny. Guys, that wasn't shade against her. I'm saying she was just grooving to the music. It wasn't like an official dance number. That's all I'm saying. I can like foresee the comments of people coming at me about that. I was not saying anything negative about her.
She talked about the kind of Namie fan she was in the 2nd episode of the radio show called BAND-MAID Nippon.
They're using Po too. That must be like a Japanese idiom or something, or a Japanese shorthand for something, it seems. Because it just happened twice in these captions. The dialogue said Po. So I don't know what that. Hey, let's just look it up. Oh, Po is the onomatopoeia for the sound pigeons, doves make. So apparently, Miku, I think I'm saying one of the band members' last name, Kobato, is composed of like 2 different things. One meaning small and the other meaning pigeon or dove. And Po is the onomatopoeia sound of what pigeons make. So she adopted the pigeon persona to match that. I'm reading this off of a Reddit, guys. So that's why it's kind of like the band's familiar way of talking to each other, like a kind of like a shorthand, like term of affection, I guess you would say. Okay, so that tells us what Po means. At least I now feel like I have a better understanding of that. Now I'll understand when you guys are saying that in my chats or when you're writing because I've seen it in some comments too, but I get a lot of foreign language comments that I have to translate, and so I just thought it was something that wasn't being translated or thought it was like typos or something. Like I didn't know. Now I understand.
She was on the right path to become a professional singer and dancer. Through those singing lessons, Saiki learned a lot about how to sing properly, louder, and also how to move while singing.
I love their music. Love it. If I haven't mentioned that before, let me just slip that in there. I love their music.
Saiki has always been a fan of trains, which is pretty common in Japan. There is also something else that's very present in Saiki's daily life. And it's the only other topic you can see on her X account. The Japanese baseball team, Hanshin Tigers.
It's really funny because I was just about to ask, like, first this guy's talking about she loves trains, and then now it's about a baseball team, and and then he said the part about, I was just about to ask after the trains thing, like, how is this verified? Like, how does this guy know that she really likes trains? And then says, like, which is really common in Japan. So is he making an assumption? And then no, apparently it's all coming from, Twitter, social media accounts, which now that makes a lot more sense. But I was my head was doing math while watching.
If you really follow Saiki on Instagram, you know that she loves taking photos, where she poses with various types of clothes, along with photos of her shoes and nails. Talking about shoes, you can find videos of Saiki showing a room full of sneakers in a series called Maid's Room, available for Omesu-sama members. Saiki is also one of the main models when it comes to feature band-made clothes for the official website. BAND-MAID performed 2 more times at Shibuya Milky Way on August 13th and at the Vunos in August 16th, before realizing that Miku's voice alone wouldn't be enough for her band. The management started to look for a lead vocalist within the agency.
Oh, that's cool.
The profile of a young new talent who'd moved from Yamanashi came.
She was brought in as the last
She had
member.
taken dancing lessons for a few years, along with singing lessons from her previous and current agency. She'd also done some acting here and there, but she always wanted to become a professional singer.
Okay, so I'm just going to say something here. This is a pet peeve of mine. I'm not talking bad about BAND-MAID, so please don't come at me in the comments about it. And I appreciate that this is a fan-made documentary, but as a documentarian, I hate it when people in documentaries and news reports, in movies even, A, reuse the same clips that we've already seen before, but B, unless it's for a purpose, unless it's for an artistic purpose, and B, when they say the same thing that we already know that she took dance lessons. We already know that she took acting lessons. And when he was telling us all of that, he was using this same thing, this same video. And so it just drives me crazy when documentarians do that. Ran over.
Her name was Saiki.
What a great addition, man. Because I definitely love her as the lead singer of the band. Now, I'd never heard them before she was in it, but when I think it was Maki, I may be saying it wrong. Maybe there's a documentary on her. I don't know, but that's a really cool addition to the group, because she definitely has that stage presence, which is also kind of cool that she has that stage presence, having kind of coming from nowhere. It's like kind of like Harry Styles. I don't know if you've ever saw the original audition on Britain's X Factor of Harry Styles, but he kind of had that stage presence and comfortability off jump. And that's kind of how I see it with her.
Saiki was first contacted because her profile fit what the band was looking for. She was asked to come sing and listen to the songs planned for the band without being informed that she would have to perform in a special outfit. On Saiki's first audition, none of the members were there, only the agency president, songwriters, and
that's
manager.
Weird.
Saiki accepted the offer and officially joined BAND-MAID.
And the rest is history, baby. That guitar and the bass.
Saiki still...
Okay, guys, so another thing, again, you guys will either love this or hate this part of the reaction video. Excuse me. But you should never, like, he just... This was like a climax moment in the documentary. She finally joins the band. She's now finally part of BAND-MAID. And then he only shows us solos, dueling solos between the guitarist and the bassist. We don't hear her sing at all. But she's the one who joined. Like, the significant moment is that she joined the band. So if you're ever making a documentary, or you're ever making, like, even, I don't know, something for TikTok or Instagram where you're trying to, like, put a bunch of things together, don't do it this way, because any natural viewer, whether they realize it or not, will say to themselves, I mean, consciously, subconsciously, you realize it. He just said that she joined the band, and then we don't hear her sing. And we know that he's got plenty of singing, and I shouldn't say he, I'm saying he because it's the narrator, but I don't know the gender of the person who made the documentary. But whoever the producer is or editor is of this documentary should have said, hey, we should use those guitar things are great, but we should have used that music back when we were talking about introing the band to the documentary. And then when she's singing is when we should use, or when we're talking about the fact that she's now in the band, we should be showing her in the band. And I know that I just paused it on a shot of her in the band that came after those solos, but he's about to start talking again. So it's just, this is like, these are the types of things that were why I was brought on to different documentaries that had already been made, because they wanted me to come in and give, like, edit notes to make the thing sound tighter and smoother. And this would have been a major note for me on this documentary. I'm very happy to be learning all this information. I truly am. But I can't not, for those of you who have only watched my BAND-MAID stuff, you probably have never heard me go on a filmmaker rant before, but I do when I watch music videos and stuff like that, because I'm a filmmaker. And so I notice these types of things, and I feel like I have to say them, because where else are you going to get them from, right? And if you didn't want to know it, that's why I chapter the videos. So that you can skip by me nerding out on filmmaker stuff. I will repeat, I am definitely enjoying learning this much.
Had to meet the other 4 members, but she didn't meet them all at once.
4人同時じゃなくて徐々に会っていく感じだったんですけど。
So I hate that too. I'm sorry, guys. I can't help it. And hate is a strong word, but you see this a lot in YouTube videos, where that's why I think maybe the guy who's the narrator is a real narrator, but I think the script was made with AI, because that's what happens in, like, if you watch YouTube true crime videos or body cam videos at all, a lot of times you'll hear, like, they'll say something to set up what you're about to watch, and then then the video starts, the body cam video starts or something like that, and they say exactly what the script just said, what the voiceover just said, which is called VO in shorthand, voiceover, for production people. But so he just said she actually didn't meet them all at once. And then she says, I didn't meet them at once, but one by one. It's repetitive. It just makes things longer that you don't need to make longer. To give you an idea, a workaround, a scripting workaround would have been, what was really surprising was how she ended up meeting the people that would make up this legendary band, or how she ended up being introduced to her soon-to-be fellow bandmates. I didn't meet them at once, but one by one. See what I mean? What I said wasn't great because I'm doing it off the top of my head, and I probably would have edited that 4 more times before I put it into a script, but you get the idea. It would have sounded much smoother, and you would have felt like you were being brought along for the story rather than, yeah, he just said that. And I think the reason that a lot of audiences have become okay with this is because it's all we're exposed to now. And I think we should hold things to a higher standard. Again, I'm not putting down the documentary. I'm just talking about filmmaking processes. And I think that, and storytelling processes, I'm a storyteller. I really believe that you can craft things in a way that keep people engaged without being repetitive. That's all I was trying to say. So I just cut out a big portion, guys. It's her talking about, and I'm positive it was someone else reading like as her, because it doesn't sound, the voice didn't sound the same from the radio recordings earlier. But it was really interesting to see how I'm encouraging you to go to watch it, because she's talking about how her first impressions of the other bandmates. But the thing that was really interesting to me was that she was really curious how they were going to like receive her. And at first, their first impressions of her was that they weren't going to get along. And then we're really happy that they did. So that's a very cool nugget of information to know. I also really enjoy knowing that she was the last one to come in. It does make me curious how the other ones came together. So I love this kind of stuff. I just want to say, like, Bad Llama, thank you for coming through for me on this one, because I didn't know how this was going to go, and I'm very much enjoying learning about them, like, truly.
Saiki
I
has
wish
a
those were
very
longer.
shy personality. Saiki performed her first concert with BAND-MAID on August 22nd at Shibuya AX in Tokyo.
Oh, I love that there's footage of this. That's dope, dude.
Right after this concert, Saiki got rid of the apron that was attached to her outfit.
I'm loving all this old footage.
After the success of Thrill, BAND-MAID played more concerts, and Saiki found herself singing more than she was prepared for. Her throat suffered to the point where her voice became half as powerful as it was when she joined BAND-MAID. At one point, she couldn't even record an entire song the same day.
What is wrong with me? It's a real question. What is wrong with me? Because the only thing I'm noticing, like, first I took in the whole picture. You guys tell me, if you're fans of the channel, leave in the comments, what do you think I noticed most about this picture? I'm listening to him talk about how her throat was hurt and everything else, and it was damaged for like 2 years, and I'm hopeful that she got better with treatment or whatever, because I love her in the band and I love her voice, and obviously that was 2017, so this is 8 years later, so they must have done something. But what do you think it is that stood out to me the most in this picture? Like, and if I didn't think I'd get struck, I'd use the Jeopardy music right now to give you time to think. Do, 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 do. Give up? Why is the shower head on? Like, why is the water coming out of the... Well, she's just sitting there on the edge of the tub, I guess, looking out the window, fully dressed. It's not like she's getting ready to... Not that she should be like naked getting into the bath, but you know what I mean. She's fully dressed. She's not about to take a shower or a bath. She's staring out the window, and yet for some reason, I mean, that's just wasteful. What is wrong with me? Guys, I don't know why I'm built this way. I just am.
In the summer of 2017, she finally gathered her courage and went through with vocal cord polyp surgery.
Oh, wow.
Saiki was completely without a voice.
That's what what's her name had in Pitch Perfect. If you ever saw that movie, and it made her like lower because she had the polyps in her throat. Why can't I think of that actress's name now? But yeah, that's the only reason I know about that.
With the help of her vocal coach, who had experience with this kind of surgery and a lot of training, Saiki is now able to sing even better than before and has improved her technique while learning how to properly care for her voice. Saiki's voice changed a lot over the years, always improving, becoming more powerful with a wider range.
I don't mean to stop in the middle of this. This is my favorite part of the documentary. The seamlessness of combining. They started in 2017 and they've showed us all these different concerts already to 2021 of her singing the same song, and it's all seamlessly done. There's no jump. The only jump is the cut. There's no jump in the music, and that's really cool. That's a really dope way of editing. I did a documentary, really just a little Uncle Scott tidbit for you. I did a documentary a long time ago called Who Killed Malcolm X. You can actually, there's a poster right there that says it because it won a National Documentary Award. And in it, I edited it as well. I produced it, wrote it, edited it. And it's, by the way, like 10 years before Netflix put out their version of this. They stole my title. They actually asked me. I have some of the only footage with the man who went to prison for killing Malcolm X, but he didn't do it. I have the only footage, interview footage of him afterwards, after he got out of jail. And I interviewed him at the Malcolm X Museum, which used to be the Audubon Ballroom, which is where Malcolm X was shot. Anyway, I also interviewed one of Malcolm X's assistants who was on the stage at the time of the shooting. But then I also found black and white footage, very famous black and white footage of a newspaper reporter who was in the ballroom at the time. And he was like, people outside, the TV crews were outside after the shooting had been announced, and they were interviewing him, and he was telling his like version of what happened. And then I asked this guy who, 30 some odd years later, what he remembered from being there, from being on the stage. And so he told his version of remembering it. And I had them basically finishing each other's sentences, the black and white with the new footage, telling the story of how Malcolm X was killed. And it was seamless. And it was like one of my proudest moments as an editor and a storyteller, because I was like, this is such an interesting way to show how significant this moment was and how it affected the people who were there kind of the same way, whether they knew Malcolm X personally or not. And I thought that was so interesting. This is such a cool way to do this, to show how her voice has stayed strong. This absolutely my favorite part of the documentary. Absolutely kudos to them for deciding to edit it this way. I absolutely love it. This is good storytelling. Like, that was seamless. so cool. That was dope. That was really, really cool.
There are always more to do in a band than just play your instrument. Saiki wrote lyrics here and there along with Miku since the release of Brand New Made in 2016. But she's started to write more by herself, as she's the one who's credited for lyrics on Corellium. Hate. And Maji.
Yo, the coolest thing about this part, they're saying that she like worked on lyrics and everything else and wrote it, is I've always been fascinated because that means someone else in the group, and I don't know who it is. Obviously, this is the first real information I'm getting about any of them, but someone took the lyrics from Saiki and like wrote a song around it and was able to do the harmony parts for, you know, the other singer and make it, you know, fast and go like that. And maybe she was able to write a lot to that style because she was used to singing it by then, but she didn't write the music. She doesn't have that kind of musical background. She would just sing covers and stuff like that. She never sang her own. She wasn't a songwriter. She wasn't writing her own music. She just, as this documentary showed, she just wanted to sing, enjoyed singing, then did some acting stuff. So she'd have more stage presence, some dancing stuff. So she'd have some more stage presence. But like, it's really cool that someone took her lyrics and was like, okay, bet. I'll now make this into Hate, which I've reacted to on this channel. And I love that song. So it's just really cool how all of this stuff kind of comes together. You know what I mean?
Saiki was the one who started to talk to the other members about moving around the stage, interacting more with the crowd, and making each concert even more special.
How cool is it that this person who was like shy, like they used that stock photo of a little girl like covering her face at the beginning of this, and then like he said, I think by 2017, 2018, she started, or no, after the pandemic, so that was like 2020, she started to become more of the face of the band and everything else. Before that, it was Maki. So, which I get, because I think Maki's one of the original members, like, or she's the one who like started the band. But Saiki was so shy, and they gave her the time and space to grow into the role. They didn't just say, hey, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston, but he like was just thrown into it in that movie and had to be the performer, had to be the front man, had to do all this stuff. And that happens a lot in bands. They're like, if you're going to do it, we want you to come in and be the guy or be the girl. And with them, they were like, no, we've got someone who does that right now. Find your footing, girl. We like you. Like, they truly treated her as a sister, as a family member, as a really dear friend, and let her grow into the role. And that's dope. I don't think you find that a lot in show business. And I just think that's awesome. I'm so glad I watched this. Perfect that it says evolution.
Saiki changed a lot with BAND-MAID, compared with the shy girl she was when she visited Tokyo for the first time.
He did not just say that. Obviously, I haven't seen this, and he immediately just said she changed a lot, especially compared to the shy girl. That's amazing. That's amazing.
She had to learn everything from scratch to move towards her goal of becoming a professional musician. This shy young girl, who never thought that she could sing and dance for a living, became a confident, talented lead singer with an insane stage presence. Saiki and her bandmates have the energy to climb over any mountain in their way, no matter how high.
I just noticed the song that we're listening to is an acoustic. I've never heard them do acoustic before. That's insane. Wow. Do they do that? Do they do that a lot? I think someone said that in a comment, actually, now that I think about it, that there are acoustics. I gotta look that up, add it to the list. If you guys want me to bump it to the top, you know what to do. I'm just saying, I definitely got to add that to the list. That's crazy.
In the end, and against all odds, Saiki is the perfect fit for BAND-MAID.
I'd
the
say
last
so.
piece of this miraculous puzzle, whose voice resonates across the world.
What? Oh, they should end it on this. Bro. Oh, please end the documentary on this. Yes. Second favorite part of the documentary was the astute and very well placed storytelling judgment to end on that, because it's not her voice with the rest of the band going on around it. It was more of a pure sound because of the acoustic. Don't get me wrong, you know I love her voice in the band. I'm just saying that acoustic really drives home because it's not being, you know, in the medley of all the other things that are going on stage, which sometimes can drown out the purity of someone's voice. And that sounded awesome. Really, really awesome. I'm so glad I watched this, guys. I didn't know what to expect from this. I really didn't. But Bad Llama, you rock. Thank you so much for even thinking to suggest it, but also for doing the Buy Me a Coffee, so it jumped this right to the top, because I absolutely love that I know that much more about Saiki and about, like, and in context the band. That's just really, really cool. This has turned into like mostly a BAND-MAID week. That's kind of crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I won't go on too much about it because it's been a long video. I've been recording for over an hour. I'm sure I will trim a lot out of this, but thank you so much. If you made it this far, you know I appreciate you. Hey, use those comments to suggest songs. You don't have to do a super thanks or buy me a coffee. Like I said, I will put it on the list of things to watch. You just might have to wait a little bit before I get to it, because there are a lot of things on the list, which I feel blessed because of that, because it means I'm going to watch a lot more cool stuff that all of you have suggested. And thank you so much to those of you who've been able to support me and, you know, throw me a few bucks here and there. I really appreciate it because, you know, especially right now, times are tight. But I don't even want to make it about that. I appreciate you guys either way, and I truly mean that. So thank you so much. And hey, I hope you're having a great week, guys. Don't wait for life to be easy to be happy.